for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I'm joined by.
Lee Vernon, vocals.
And Simon Ronaldo, organ, keyboards.
Lucas Ronaldo on bass and sometimes guitar.
Awesome. It's great to be chatting to you today. Can you tell us a little bit about your new album, Pals You Lose, and its inspirations and ideas and basically everything?
Yeah, sure. Well, this is our fifth album, but it's actually our 12th release or 13th thing we've recorded.
Yeah.
So we've been knocking around a few years. But yeah, this one's been a little bit longer coming. I think it was 5 years since our previous album.
Yeah, just a little over.
Yeah, so we've made a few changes. I mean, Lucas has joined the band. The last two albums we didn't have a bass player.
Right.
I was the bass player. I played keyboard bass with organ. Previous to that, we did have a bass player, so we wanted a bass player for this album. So Lucas has come in, and he's my son.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I was in school.
Well, we joke about it, but we actually when we lost our previous bass player, Ollie, to love, he fell in love with a woman in Amsterdam, and what can you say? Well, off you go, mate. Enjoy your life, and he's having a great, wonderful. If you're listening, Ollie, nice to see you. But yeah, he's when he left, we tried a few guys out, but we're such a close knit thing that nothing quite felt right. And Simon was very good at doing everything. So it seemed spinning plates was his thing. And we managed to keep playing. That was the incentive. We didn't want to, stop the gig route that we were on. We're having a great time. And luckily, Simon was able to fill that gap, and it became a part of our sound.
Yeah.
That I think has fashioned literally everything we do now to a degree.
Yeah.
That said, when Lucas joined, by which time he's grown up with us all being around the house, and to him we're just probably an annoyance because we were stopping him getting in the studio himself, as he got older. But he certainly knew everything about how we worked, how we worked together, even our relationships between ourselves. He had a good insight on all of that, and on top of that, he's an amazing player.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, okay, so we grew our own. That's what we joke about,
Grew
what
our
he
own.
did.
Me and my wife.
There obviously more than one involved.
Yeah.
Well,
So that was a change, but yeah, this was a big production for us, and we took a lot of time writing the material and perfecting it. I think a lot of it was more perfected at the point of recording than we'd done in the past, and a few on the album they weren't ready to record, but they were almost, so we just went for it. So they've got that. We like that spontaneity, the jam feel to it. So some of them are sort of based around jams.
It's so cool. It's so different. I mean, it's not something I normally listen to, but it's very proggy. It's very sort of like jazzy. It's everything, isn't it? It's all combined, and it's very chill out.
We're not one thing or another.
Nah.
We're influenced by so many things that's what comes out, isn't it? If you don't restrict yourself musically, then it becomes what it becomes. That's what it is. So there's a lot of. We never say we're anything. We never say we're prog, but the prog people seem to like us. We're hard rock.
Yeah.
Hard rock people like us, and we've got jazz elements as well. So
I mean, truth be told, when if we get a gig in a rock venue, we've played for HRH and all sorts of people.
Yeah.
You you change your game a little bit. That's what we're able to do. We're able to overdrive things a little more when it demands it. Because that's part of our sound as well. It's just you choose what you elevate, and we've got such a wide selection in our back catalogue to dip into that. If somebody wants something heavy and dark, we'll give it to you, no problem at all. and it'll be full on, right in your face, all the way through the set. But if you've got a more discerning crowd and you're playing for an hour and a quarter and you've got a bit more time, you can kind of treat it a bit more like an album journey, you know. And then we've got that as well. We can give you the cinematic and the different vistas that make for a great experience. Certainly my favorite experience is watching bands live is when they've taken me on just a trip. The whole evening, you know, you almost can't remember what they played because you feel like you've just been on this eternal track. But it's been such an enjoyable journey. And I think that's how we view albums still, you know, that we really do worry about how it rolls together.
Yeah. Sorry, my microphone's kicking at me. Sorry. Carry on. Sorry, mate. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
No,
Ironically, that was just as I was saying how it flows. Well done. Well done. You upset the flow beautifully there.
Sorry.
But you know, you get the idea. So it's we can fluctuate our performances as well as our live recording choices and our studio recording choices. And I think that's what we realized. Our maturity might have brought that to us a little bit more. But certainly with this recording, we were able to mix those two elements, the liveness of a spontaneous recording, and allowing people just to play and let it go. And that freedom, if you get that moment, which thankfully these guys here have both set up the studio that you're seeing now.
Cool studio, I love it.
Yeah, and it's amazing because now we're at the point where we can come in and rehearse. And the other lads that aren't here, they'll back me up on this. They generally just turn up and play. Yeah, but what a pleasure for them. They've all got busy lives. This is all.
They don't even lift any equipment.
They don't even
have amazing,
to. They just walk in with a guitar, plug it in, and go. But on top of that, we've also got this amazing quality sound. We're all headphoned up, but we're in the room together.
Yeah.
And we record everything that we rehearse now.
Amazing.
You know, we've now got whole laptops full of stuff that just makes us go, well, forgot about that one, and we haven't even worked on it yet. So yeah, it's been this album has activated something in us.
That's definitely activated a lot of interest in your band. Definitely.
Yeah, it seems to have done. Yeah. I mean, we put a lot into the PR. We work with Sam PR at the moment. Gary's a great guy.
He is.
And he's been helping us get this, the timeline and everything, get it out to the right people at the right time. Yeah, it's had a lot of interest. It's doing well, and with Dairy, I mean, we like selling records. You know, we like selling CDs and records. But online, you know, Spotify, the likes has got a little bit mental, which is quite cool. So it's going in the right direction. Yeah, we're proud of this one.
Yeah.
But we've started recording the next already, you know, and we didn't anticipate that, but that's what's happened.
Overspill. That's what it was. I put it down to. We once we got creative, an album wasn't long enough. That makes sense.
That was going to be my next question, because I thought, like, when you're saying about stuff on your laptop, you put the next album already written, haven't you? So yeah,
a lot of it's there. I'd say half of it's almost there, but you don't really know until you've got it all down. And
sorry, the week after we finished it, we came in for a session, and we've just come up with another song, just like that.
Yeah.
Because we were so sort of up on just releasing it. We're like, we're glad about we've released the album finally. Sort of prepared everything for the release, and we were just sort of so inspired by that we just came in and we just started the next one.
Brilliant.
Really, we should have been rehearsing the ones that we were about to start playing out for the album. Yeah. But you know, that was the thing. You know, that energy is that's very good. You must never snuff that out. You know,
definitely. Okay, so like you've shared stages with UB40 all sorts of different bands. Are you have you played at Glastonbury, just out of curiosity?
No,
we've never played Glastonbury. I'd like to. We'd love to. We've played a lot. Yeah, I mean, we did. The UB40 thing was at the Paradiso in Amsterdam.
Okay.
if you know the venue, and we played there with
Long
the
time ago.
we played it with the Black Crows, which was pretty amazing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've played and a lot of festival slots that we play alongside some really great bands. It's really nice to work with these people. A lot of them we know, you know. So yeah,
we inevitably end up getting on with them, and usually a lot of this stuff comes out of mutual appreciation and music, and you know, they'll give you a ring if they're in town and they're doing something, you know, do you fancy coming down and playing? Can you do this night or whatever? And we do the same. We've always been the same with younger bands as well. You know, if we've got an album launch on 3rd of May, that's going to be held at Squires in Bedford, which is an amazing venue for young and old musicians. It's a fantastic place to go for Bedford. I mean, it's one of the gems.
Right.
So we choose that as our homecoming, if you like, to go and play there. So we're doing our launch there 3rd of May. Tickets on sale now, everybody.
Brilliant.
Going for, but yeah, usually for those, we'll look around at local acts that are coming up, or you know, and I mean, you know, it could be Cambridge, somewhere like that, but local enough that they're creating a bit of a buzz out. And if we like them, we'll drag them in, and we try and pay them properly, you know, like we never got, and you know. So we try to do little things, if you like, as we go forward.
But we did have the Groundhogs play with us.
We did.
Right.
They supported us. It was wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I'd been on tour because I play in another band called Stray, which you may know. Being a metal fan, Iron Maiden covered "All in Your Mind," you know. So that's the big Stray song. And I'd been on tour with Stray and the Groundhogs, so we became friends.
Cool. That's amazing.
You wouldn't fancy playing with us? Oh yeah, we'd love to, you know. So
great guys,
great band.
That's amazing. I love that. So on release day, then release night, do you plan to live stream it or something like that for us people that don't live anywhere near Bedford?
It's a good question.
It's a good idea.
It is a good idea. Well, it could be sorted. I'll tell you what, we'll do our best, but I won't make any promises at this stage. We've got a lot to organise between now and then. One of the things is we do everything ourselves. You know, we make the videos, we make the backdrop videos, we do all the lighting. Generally, we do get people in to help us, but it's pretty much, you know, us all the way that's creating the whole show. So even the build up to this, there's a hell of a lot to deal with.
No way. Self-sufficient.
Yeah, we will see, but yeah. The trouble is you bring technology into things and it all gets a little complicated when you just want to play. So yeah, the other consideration. We'll see about that. But if we could, it would be great. I think now we've got more of an online presence, certainly. It seems to be up in every day. It might be nice to do that. Yeah, I don't know on what platform we put out yet, but we'll have to see.
All right. So have you joined like the TikTok revolution, anything like that? Are you on that as well?
I'm staying out of it, but we're young people, not named any names.
We're on MySpace.
MySpace.
We actually, when we started,
that was the space to go.
We went on MySpace, and I didn't even know what it was. What's this MySpace thing? And we went on it, and our first recordings were on there, and they never actually got released officially. That was we called it Embryo.
Right.
It was the embryo of the band, you know, and that's where it all started. MySpace. So, no, we're on all the platforms. We've got YouTube. It's a big one for us.
Your favourite song on the album to date and why? Mine's Junkies.
Oh,
yeah, I'll go with that one as well. We're releasing a single of Junkies on the 11th of April, just before the launch of the album, which is actually the 18th of April. But it's a radio edit because that's a 10.5-minute song.
People got no patience, have they?
That's the thing, you know. And you try. Well, I think our fan base seem to love the long ones.
Yeah.
Especially love the long ones. And yeah, for us, that's a strong one. But we were encouraged to trim it down full radio. There'll be a video for it, which is currently being made by this man mainly.
Yeah.
That's the full 10.5-minute track.
Cool.
And that was real. Like that was a jam, pretty much, as you could probably hear in it.
And we pretty much jammed the video. It's great fun making it. So I can't tell you, it's going to be awesome when that comes out. That's going to be awesome.
See, some people. I mean, I dig 10-minute tracks and that. You know what I mean? Because you just get lost in space, can't you? Something with it.
Yeah.
And if you release it as a single, yeah, I can understand why you play it down.
Yeah, we didn't want to cut it, but actually we thought, well, let's try it, and actually it works great. Cool. You know, and if it accesses a new audience and then they go to listen to the full length version and like that, then even better. So,
it came at a natural intersection in the song where, you know, you could do either, and I think we allowed ourselves to, a little bit, you know, indulgence on our part. We continued
self-indulgence. That's what
because
they call
it was just recording, let it go, you know. But actually, it's that end bit has become my favourite bit. Interesting enough, and I think that's when you realise the importance of providing that environment where everybody feels free to voice themselves musically properly, you know, without any restraints or without bringing in the worries of the world when they come in here, you know, little things like that. I think we've all reached that point now, and you could hear it in that song. Definitely can hear it in the full version. So that's wonderful. You know,
that's cool. All right, and so what about the artwork? Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's the ideas behind that?
Yeah, well, Chris, the drummer, he's a rather disturbed painter on the side.
Not just a painter.
Black.
Yeah,
you know, he's not quite there yet, but you know, he's on the verge. Bless him. But no, he does these wonderful abstracts that I think have just been quite a lovely little outcrop of his creativity for him since lockdown, certainly. And he's got really into it. And I went round to his a few months before we were deciding on the artwork. And he had an exhibition coming up, a local one, just a small thing, which I believe was really well attended. And he actually sold a lot of them. So bravo. That side, he got all the paintings out and he was kind of working out where he was going to put them and how they could be arranged. So I'm looking at all these paintings. And I looked at the one that we ended up using predominantly for the cover. And there's something about the abstract nature of the texture, the mesh look quality of the canvas coming through, the fact that it's original, that you could see his angst even in the strokes themselves when you focused in. All those kind of things seem to relate to the entanglement that the album's loosely talking about, that we found ourselves in after lockdown and the political upheaval that seems to be continually in flux at the moment and everything
else. Go there.
Well, no, I think it seems the more we know, the worse it looks. So
he's the artist, but he'll present like a canvas, and he'll have to turn it into...
He gives me a painting and I go, right, what can I do with this? That's essentially what we did.
And he's done all the artwork on all of our albums. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Even the lettering and stuff. You know, it's down to him.
When our first album, we were signed to a US label, and they were insistent that we were on the front cover, which we did not like at all. As you can see, we're not
like Sergeant Pepper.
We are not ones
around an organ.
I think they wanted us in Stetsons, and you know, we won't change you, man. But they wanted us like that, and Chris was quite upset because they wouldn't use his artwork.
Right.
So we paid ourselves to do some artwork on the inside of the UK release, and that's the one to have for the first album. Colossus.
If you can get hold of one.
If you can get hold of it.
If you can get hold of one, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And the artwork was awesome. And so from then on, but you see, that's part of it as well. The band doing everything as part of it is that, you know, it creates more ownership if everybody's doing other things as well. You know, it's great that his art's appreciated. I mean, everybody's a bit more complicated than just playing the drums or just being a guitarist.
But it's positive, man, because it's like I hate this AI business, and like I mean I understand why bands are doing it and they're using AI for album covers and that, but
they're all doing it.
Yeah,
I mean it's not
look to it, hasn't it? And
it's not unique, is it? It's not your.
We'll look at the AI in 5 years' time and go, "Oh man, that's so obvious." But like, 2025 AI, that is, you know, we're not interested in that. And
I mean, one of my favourite album covers of all time is John Martin's Solidaire, and
right?
it's his hand, and it's carved across a circle of light on an oil-covered lens cover. That's all it is, and you see a hand going like that. But the photograph's taken through the liquid. So somebody's had to do that with no other stuff than a light and a camera.
Mm-hmm.
They've come up with this image that you could not generate it even with AI. It would not look as good as this image. It's a stunning album cover. Now that's the sort of stuff that gives you originality. It makes you feel creative because there's something about it. It's a quality that AI never seems to have.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean that's probably what appeals to a lot of people as well. And some of the magazines that pick you up, you know, through advertisements, whatever. What Sam done. I mean, that's like it's even a unique selling point these days, isn't it? To an extent, do you know what I mean? Because you've done it yourselves. You're not.
Yeah. We're the same with everything we do, including the recording. You know, like those instruments are real instruments.
Yeah,
you know, antique, vintage ones in many cases.
Everything's old. Everything's falling to bits, but it's all old.
Makes me feel younger.
So we record real drums, you know, with mics, not triggers or anything like that. It wouldn't suit us. And you know, real Hammond organ, real Farfisa and Rhodes, and real amps,
real drummers.
Real drummers. So you know, it's got to be real. We've got to keep it real.
Totally, that's what I mean. That's the appeal, isn't it? And I mean, especially these days, there's so many bands out there. It must be quite difficult at times to get your head above the parapet. Yeah.
Yeah, we try not to think about it though. You know, I mean, what's the point? It is what it is. You just got to keep pushing on and believe in what you're doing, which we do.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
You can improve stuff, you know. You can always, like you say, you're always learning. There's always ways of getting your head a little bit further up, but it's not something that distracts us particularly. You know, I mean, what would we do with it anyway? You know,
what, the money?
Well, the money would be great.
I know exactly.
But we all know that even that is mostly a fallacy. You know, you do give up a lot for that money if you end up being one of those acts getting enough money. Very often it's at the sacrifice of lots of other things, and we've all got lovely lives as well as the music. You know, the music is part of it all, but you know, and that's you know, you've got to be careful what you wish for. But I personally, I don't know how the rest of the lads feel, but if one day somebody taps me on the shoulder and says, "Got a lot of respect, man, loved your stuff," that's all it takes.
Exactly.
Right, you know.
Yeah, I can understand that totally. So going back to being signed to the US label, did they ever invite you over there for a tour or anything? Did that happen?
It was planned and it was on the cards, but we had to make a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
And first album, you know, we got a lot of radio play over there, and they did a good job. And we can't play that. It was a 3-album deal. We gave them 2 albums, and the 3rd album we'd finished. I was I was the producer at the time, and I called the manager. I said, I can't give you this album. We're very proud of this album, and I just said, look, let us go, because they weren't going to invest, and they were really good about it. You know, they said, no, that's fine. And we probably owed them money. Maybe we didn't. I don't know.
You never really knew.
You never really knew. You never really knew. And it being signed didn't suit us at all, because like we've said, we're so self contained. it was really difficult working with someone, especially the other side of the pond.
Oh, yeah,
They were
definitely.
great guys, and they were, they were all ex-Atlantic guys, and they'd worked with everyone from
The
Eric
Brothers.
Allman Brothers, well, Eric Clapton, Aretha
Yeah.
Franklin. They'd been working with these, and then they're working with us, these British guys that have got a different culture about it. And I wouldn't say it didn't work, because we learnt a lot from it, and they got what they wanted out of it, I think, and everyone was happy. But we never made enough to actually be able to do it.
Oh.
And so we've never played the US. We'd love to.
Well, I remember one conversation where they were saying, yeah, we'll do this, we do that. You come out and you do this, that, and the other. And we were literally sitting there totaling up costs on a pamphlet, right? We're just scribbling down rough stuff. And I think we got to about 40,000, right? Before we'd even eaten anything, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were looking at each other, and I'm just going, and he's going, and there's no mention of where this money's coming from or whether these were guaranteed gigs. So it was all like that. And I could totally see how a younger band, a less experienced band at the time, would have gone, oh, well, yeah, and go down and tell their mates in the pub, we're going to LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you've got to do it. Now you've got to do it. And I could see how you'd come home with your tail between your legs. And
we're friends with a lot of bands that have done it, and they've all come. It's really hard to make it work.
And it's always been the same. I mean, it's just the nature of the business to a degree, until you become big enough to not really pay any mind to them, and they know it, so they let you do what you want. But that's a long way off, for most people, never going to happen. So, I'd like to think that we are in a great place, that we play great music. We're not told how to do it or in any way, pushed about. We don't play the gigs we want to play.
Yeah.
And if not available, we make them happen by booking them ourselves. We'll book the 100 Club and go and fill it up. You can do these things on your own, and very often they're much more successful.
Totally. Yeah. Can agree with that. So talking about playing live, what are the plans? Have you got anything booked for festivals or a mini tour or anything around the UK?
Yeah, we got a few festivals. It's been hard to book gigs this year. We're finding, so we've got a series of gigs. We don't go out on tour because we can't really. It just doesn't work for us. We've actually found it works better for us being selective.
Yeah.
So we try to do 1-2 a month or something like that, and that actually works really well. The plan is to extend that towards the end of the year and into next year to promote this album, but we'll probably cover the whole country, but over a longer period. And I don't know if we've got plans for Europe, but we might have next year, I think.
Yeah, there's interest, but you get this every year. The trouble, lockdown has been a weird ripple effect, where you've got one thing I've noticed as well is that often the amounts of money you can glean have diminished. It's like they've taken the opportunity to go, oh no, everything's down here now. You might have got that before.
Yeah.
And it's like they've taken the opportunity, oh, let's step it down a gear and we can start everybody up from the bottom again.
Yeah.
And it's not just us, we're noticing a lot of people, struggling to get what they were. So you have to be a bit particular about what you plan. I know we're talking to a couple of people. There's some people in France that we've had conversations with that do different festivals. We've chatted with people in Sweden, but like I say, it's very difficult. Sometimes you don't even get a reply to the email for 8 months.
Right, yeah. And then just bring it on you sort of thing. Yeah, not on.
OK Computer, Radiohead, and Remain in Light with Talking Heads. I don't think I could cut those two.
Different.
Got so much in them that I just really like.
Yeah, they've got to do everything. Yeah, I think for me, it changes every week. So to bring that to 2 is difficult. I think LA Woman by The Doors.
Oh, I love that album.
Amazing. And it's raw. It's raw. It's The Doors, as they always should have been. Great songs, but it's their best work. And I love everything by The Doors. And probably Rattus Norvegicus by Stranglers. Organ in all of that, and I'm an organist, so it's great. It's a great album. So
I'm gonna check that out, man. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I mentioned mine earlier. Solid Hair, John Martin. Just because it was first played to me at a definitive moment in my life. That's all I can say. So whenever I hear it, it's like a time machine. It is an amazing recording.
It's amazing, yeah.
And the other one is an album called Blue Valentine by Tom Waits. It hasn't been an anthology, but because I think there's a couple of tracks on it that come from other albums, but the title track is extraordinary.
Cool. I'll be checking that.
Loved his songwriting. So okay, well, I've got to say John Martin. I've got to say, it might actually be Little Richard vocally. First thing that really just blew my mind when I was a kid, and I wanted to be Little Richard so bad. Obviously not now, because I know kind of what he became with it. He's a little bit loop de loop, at least, but was still amazing, regardless. If you put him on a piano and forgot about the rest. But I think that would be
cool. Yeah, I think for me, John Lord, Deep Purple. Yeah, I met John Lord. We both met.
He had an ice cream
at the first ever Pearl Handled Revolver gig.
Wow.
And it was amazing. It was like meeting God for me. And
I had to make him talk to him because he got all.
I was a bit. I don't lose the words really, but I did then. But no, we had a great chat for a long time, and he's a lovely man, and we miss him. He was amazing musician, lovely bloke. I feel blessed to have met him. And the other one who I didn't meet would be Ray Manzarek. He and I have got a lot in common, I think, apart from the fact we're keyboard players. The bass thing, keyboard bass, that's him. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for him.
Cool.
And I think his focus and drive is sort of what I am. So there's a lot of similarities there, and he's influenced me a lot. So there you go.
For me, I think I just have to go with the Beatles for my they're the first proper band that I got into, and I still listen to them at least once a week. I listen to a Beatles album, and it's just because they've been so important to me. And when I was thinking of the albums, I thought, actually Radiohead would be a good second option because I like electronic music as well. They do that as well as rock. They've developed sort of so much. There's a lot in there to explore, so I go with those two.
Yeah,
amazing.
Two things we would take on tour. Is that right?
Yeah.
Not a cat.
Not a cat. Yeah.
I would take a cat on tour.
That's funny.
That'd be ridiculous. I don't go anywhere without a coffee machine, and I'm partly Italian, so I'm half Italian.
It's the morning bit of him that's Italian.
Yeah, which needs a coffee. So I take a little burner and a macchinetta, a mocha. And I make the coffee, which is great because actually you make friends with all the bands and everybody wants a piece of your coffee,
Lovely, and when I wake up later than everybody else, stagger out into the main room, I know that there's a coffee knocking about somewhere.
Cool.
Fellow
coffee addict. I love it. Yeah.
Oh God, I think we all are.
So is that two things, coffee machine and obviously coffee?
Well, the burner, because you don't cold coffee. You can't make coffee without the burner. So they're the two things. There you go.
Fair enough.
And the cups. So
that's
one of my.
Oh, if he brings the cups, can he bring the cups?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Fair. You can't team up and get like a hamper together.
A hamper. Sure.
That's my second one.
You bring the sandwich.
He's going to bring the hamper and the cup.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know why. I reckon I'd have.
Can you bring a pair of pants next time?
Oh, No, you'd want to be free and
No.
easy. You're on a desert island.
I've shared
I'd
rooms
be
with you.
swinging it about and enjoying the
We're not in the
sunshine.
desert island last week.
I'd be the last turkey in the shop on
Oh,
the
dear.
Lovely.
yeah, but, yeah, probably suntan lotion. Actually, I think that would be
Oh,
what
being, yeah,
definitely,
being,
Right.
yeah,
yeah.
Right.
especially keep the old turkey.
Pants, mate. Bring pants.
But
So
no,
the
I'd
second band that's Art said you wanted. I never said the desert island. I've never said it.
Oh, sorry. Well, when you go on tour, yeah. No, suntan lotion probably not the wrong then.
Well, it depends where the tour is, I suppose.
Well, yeah, true.
If it's
around England, you don't need it.
no.
But to be honest, we never get out in the sunshine, even when we're in Spain, did we? So they had to tell us to get our clothes on because we all come out with our like sun gear on, and it was dreadful. It was just loads of white bodies hanging around. Yeah, well, it was quite funny because on that occasion you had like Saxon and other bands were all stood around the swimming
They're
pool,
all very pale as
and
well.
they were all really pale with it. Drunk some of the old budgie smugglers, which was really shouldn't have been allowed, and yeah, the really old ones like a blue ring glow
Yeah.
as the sunlight went through their darkened dyed hair. You know?
Not saying names.
No, not naming any names.
No.
But yeah, it was an eye-opener to say the least. So yeah, I've learnt my lesson. Probably clothes is the most important thing, just to keep everybody happy.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know really. A cigarette.
No, really.
Gotta have a cigarette. So I'd have to have a cigarette with me.
Okay.
I said it.
That's great answers. Two bands that you'd love to go on tour with that are dead or alive. I'm guessing the Doors and Stranglers. I'm thinking, but anyway.
Oh yeah, well, wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great? The Doors, definitely. Yeah,
God, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap would be insane.
Spinal Tap.
That'd be a good one.
I reckon I'd say the Doors actually. I got really into watching a load of the old videos, at some of the bigger concerts they did, you know, when I'd say he was at his peak kind of thing. And yeah,
Hollywood
quite
Bowl.
mind blowing, because you know you hear a lot of stuff about him, but when you actually watch him as a performer, it was extraordinary. He had a presence that, yeah, it's definitely worth watching, and I learned a lot from it myself. So yeah, I reckon I'd be one of the ones that's I'd watching that gig definitely, you know, and waiting, you know, desperately to do it again.
It'd be one of those bands that you'd really look forward to watching their set because it would be probably different every night.
Yeah. You'd want to see him go wild as well and all those things. I'd love to support Tom Waits because his shows are just incredible. You know, he's so imaginative, from stomping on the ground and getting all the dust covered up because he's got the chalk on the floor, you know, just to create an atmosphere. I mean, he's a genius. Cave and Steed, wow. Yeah, that'd be a great gig.
That would be totally.
Yeah. So yeah, what about you?
That's it.
We done.
That's it. We're done.
Yeah.
Spinal
Tap. There you
Spinal
go.
Tap, yeah. Apparently, it's going to be another Spinal Tap film. Not sure about that.
So, yeah, I think some things need to be left. You know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
A tiny clip he was talking about. He said what really annoys him is that they come out of those pods at least 180 times on the tour, but the only one they put in the film is the one where I get stuck in there.
Love it.
Because I play with Stray, it is a bit like playing with Spinal Tap, actually, which is great. And you know, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. But yeah, we've actually got lost going to a stage. Actually, had no pods, no pods.
HOH, wasn't it?
No, it was the Symphony Hall in Birmingham.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, we got.
We've mocked the hoople.
We've mocked the hoople, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Love it.
It's a great night. But yeah.
Which musician would you have in your car for a 24-hour road trip?
Oh God.
Oh, it'd have to be somebody I could sing with. I reckon Joni Mitchell, because she'd just have loads of songs in her head, guitar, and I could sing with her, and it'd be great.
Mm.
That'd be great. I'd do it.
Cool.
Ronnie James Dio.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Great
Yeah.
guy.
And you still have room for your suitcase on
Room-
top of it.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could just sit there with all your luggage on.
Yeah, definitely. He's the man. He's the man.
I'd say Paul McCartney seems like a really nice
Oh,
guy.
Paul
and
McCartney, yeah.
I think you had a lot of interesting conversations with him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who I want to have in my car. Lorraine fucking Lewis after last night.
Oh,
Yay!
well, after watching the bit of video that I saw, I was like, yeah, nice girl. Interesting. Yeah, well on. Yeah, not in the car.
Very. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if there was a song about your personality, like a made-up song, what would it be called?
A personality as a whole, as a band.
Yeah,
or
as your personality as a whole. Like mine would be, I don't know. I don't know what mine would be, but I don't know. Indecisive.
Oh, didn't it? See?
It's us.
Oh, didn't it? You try this one.
But it would we have a lot of laughs, don't we? We do joke about it, so it'd be something quite amusing.
Yeah.
An existing song or a unique name?
No, just like a made-up one.
Would have said the Laughing Gnome.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. Yeah, the laughing gnome.
There you go.
All right. So, do you prefer the electric energy of a stage or a quiet time in the studio?
Stage.
Because we're trying to emulate that stage feel in the studio.
That's exactly it.
So I think the stage has got the energy of that. It creates creativity.
We have so much fun on stage that I don't believe, but I think we made it very hard to conjure up that when we actually get in the studio. It's kind of our fault. We really do have a great time, and it's mental. The feeling of exhilaration, we all feel it. Yeah, that's why we all do it. It's kind of you're addicted a little bit once you get it. You see a few people in the audience at times crying.
That's true.
And you're like, my God, that really
That's
got
true.
me.
We've
I
actually
don't know
made
what I did to them, but
we've made people cry, including a promoter.
Really?
But yeah,
Wow.
who was so pleased he booked us.
Yeah.
But he also let on that he'd fallen in love with our guitarist Andy.
Andy, yeah.
So, which we didn't mention again, obviously.
All right.
Yeah. But no, I mean, a lovely guy, you know. But he booked us, and he actually cried. He was quite emotional about it. But we've actually seen that in the audience. Especially, we do some acoustic shows sometimes. We strip it back, and yeah, it's quite special. It's quite special. Some people feel very strongly towards our music, and that means a lot to us.
That's lovely. I love that answer. Okay, we're all getting a bit old, so I'm going to ask you this question anyway. Do you prefer it's not rude, it's just like normal. The next one is, do you prefer to wear a leather jacket or a band t-shirt?
Ooh.
I'm not a leather jacket man, so band the t-shirt.
Yeah, you wear the band t-shirt.
I'm a leather
wearing
jacket.
one. Yeah, I think
I've got a 3/4 length Burberry leather trench coat, and it's beautiful. I look like with nail and eye in it, and it never leaves my body when I'm gigging. So
that's fair enough. I think I'm a leather jacket man. I've got a little collection of jackets.
Yeah, that's cool.
I do like my leather jackets.
And the final one, if you were a musical instrument, what would you be?
I think, well, it'd be too easy for me to say I'd be an organ or something. I'd probably be an accordion.
Okay.
Get everybody's nerves.
I reckon I'd be a flute.
Or a piccolo.
A piccolo. No, that's the one I was looking for.
Yeah.
A piccolo. It's a bit cheeky.
Yeah,
it's slim. Pops in and out of things.
Here we go.
And it's got a certain nuance. When you hear a piccolo, you know, don't you?
You know it's a piccolo.
You know it's a piccolo. It normally marks something funny is coming.
There
when
you
hear a piccolo. You know, cartoons, things like that.
Yeah.
I'll go with a ukulele.
A
A
ukulele.
ukulele.
Because it's not really a necessary instrument in this day.
Oh,
I quite like it.
Oh,
A lot of ukuleles, sometimes they're not played very well and they get on my nerves.
we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah,
we record.
When he
in
plays a
it.
banjolele.
Oh, we're recording a banjolele as a band coming into the studio tomorrow. And,
right.
They play that. That's our first experience of recording banjolele.
Who's Valley Singles Club? They're awesome. Check them out.
Check them out. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Good bunch of that.
All right, man. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Please listen to our album, Tales You Lose. And if you like it, we'd love for you to purchase it, and it keeps us going for the next one.
And come tell us.
Come
and see us.
Come see us live. That's it.
And if you've got a venue near you that you'd like to hear us play at, have a word with them. Get them to give us a ring. It's as simple as that. All right. But yes, to our our biggest fans and the people that probably be the ones that watch this the most, thank you, basically, for letting us do this for so long.
Yeah.
Nicely. It's been great.
Lovely.
Shutters fan this tattooed man, and the question still remains. That's more than just a heartache, a feeling of disconnection.